Welcome everyone to VR Jungle a Havoc podcast. This is episode number 7. It's hard to believe that we've been doing this for 7 weeks. Well, technically it should be episode 8, but we skipped it because of the Super Bowl. But my name is Geralty, and I have my lovely VR avatar co-host Pickle Ostrich. How was your week?
Hello, everybody. My week's been, it's been alright. It's been a little rough, but that's okay, Stuff
Yeah.
happens.
Stuff happens. Russia's going to Ukraine. People have bad weeks, It's a little crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Imagine if it ever gets crazy in the future that instead of invading people, they just have meta VR world wars.
I wonder how that would go.
Yeah, I know. When's the very first war ever gonna happen in the metaverse where some cult society wants to take over the metaverse and they go into some weird virtual War One?
Yeah, I have no idea how that would even pan out. They'd probably just hack a bunch of people, but
Yeah. Yeah, do you think that'll ever be like in Ready Player One, where if you your avatar that you created dies, you have to start all over from the very beginning? You think they're ever gonna try and push that?
no. I think some games might try something like that, but in general, I don't think that's really gonna be like a huge thing.
Yeah, that's a huge risk. The first time I ever thought about that, there's no game like that where there's some major risk. Imagine getting
Well, there's like Tarkov and like Hunt Showdown that kind of do stuff like that. But
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, imagine playing Ark in VR.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Imagine playing Zenith and going always through the game, and then you die at the very end, and you have to start all over.
Yeah, that would suck. No more Zenith for me. Uninstall.
You know what? I was watching a movie the other day, and I so wish they would make a VR avatar game for it. It was Free Guy. That kind of gave me some. Yeah, it's called Free Guy. You never heard of it?
No, I don't think I have.
So it's a movie with the guy in Deadpool in it. Ryan Reynolds is the main character in it, and so basically he wakes up, lives this day, and then it's kind of always when it starts out, it's just crime and all this stuff is a common thing, and then life goes on. But they found out that the people with the glasses, they could do special things, they're superheroes of this world. Well, those were actual players in the real world, and he was actually an NPC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of that movie. I thought it was called like the NPC movie. Maybe they rebranded it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember hearing when that was announced.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend, especially if you like video games, because it's there's some pretty fun parts in there where it was almost like Ready Player One-ish, where since he's an NPC and he has all these glasses, he can unlock things a little bit more better than an actual human would be, because unlike playing on your keyboard, it was his, it's free will to him, I guess, and yeah, it's a good movie. So, but I would imagine, I would love to. Once you see it, you're gonna see what I mean about making an actual game that is like that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how that would pan out. We got Complete in the chat saying it's time for his favorite podcast. So shout out to Complete.
There we go.
Welcome.
Yeah, so yeah, welcome Complete. I can't wait till you have a website complete, so I can show a beautiful website and say, hey, this is all the stuff coming up. So you should get on that so I can start putting on this podcast. So other than that, so yeah, so a lot of interesting things going on in the world. I think a lot of people are kind of worried about that. But if you ever want to get away from things, you just get to put on your VR headset, and there's no World War III in a VR headset.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for nukes to come out.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's pretty interesting. But I haven't really noticed there's any new VR games coming out lately. Have you heard of any like game about to come out that is even talked about? I know that there's a lot of things going on in the PC VR world for like Cyberpunk stuff like that, and just like
Hmm.
making big games into VR. I actually got to see the play style of Cyberpunk in VR, and it's pretty interesting because even when I played Cyberpunk, it felt like a VR game, and because it was so weird to control it with your controller and everything. So man, I wish I could try it in VR because I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I don't think I think the mods that that guy makes is like they're usually like um they're you basically still play it with a mouse and keyboard, but you have the 3D perspective and that sort of thing.
Oh,
That's what I thought anyway.
so you
Yeah.
just put a headset on, but you're still playing with a mouse and keyboard.
Right. Or a controller, which I'd probably play
I
controller
would,
honestly
I'd rather
because
play
that's a
controller.
little yeah.
Just because if I'm putting a VR headset on, I know PlayStation controller the back of my freaking my head, and so I wouldn't have to continuously look down and stuff like that. And also you can actually you can actually stand up with it instead of being near a keyboard. And but then again, if you're playing PC VR, you're pretty much tied to your computer anyway. So why who knows? But
Yeah.
have you seen any gameplay on it?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Beardo Benjo, which for people who don't know, he's this YouTuber that does a lot of stuff like that. He's kind of gone a little different than what he used to do, which was mainly like Vorpex stuff, which is like this software that's like $40 and it kind of converts a lot of games into like 3D so you can do similar things. But I believe the mod would probably be a lot better quality because like Vorpex is it's weird. I've done it. I've tried it on a couple different things like oh man, I'm trying to think of a game that's not like obscure that I tried it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's like yeah, there's this one game called Dark Messiah of Might and Magic and
Mm-hmm.
that game's like made by Arcane, which are the
Yeah.
old producers of Dishonored. Like that was their first game was Dark Messiah, I think. Either that or some other one that I forgot that's kind of obscure. But anyways, that's a side tangent. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I wonder if they're ever gonna, if they're either gonna make a headset that is strong enough to play PC VR games, the way that PC VR games play. Like, I wonder what the new Meta Quest 3, because obviously that's probably gonna be the name of it. Unless they just rebrand it and they just call it the Meta Quest, and just don't call it 3 because at that point it's not an Oculus Quest 3. I could definitely see it just be called Meta Quest. That's it. But that'd be interesting to see maybe SideQuest having developers that can actually get those type of games that are usually meant for PC VR and finding ways to put them in standalone headsets.
One thing I do have to say about that actually is that Oculus is it's officially no longer actually called the Oculus Quest. They like changed the thing and I think they're gonna change the boot up logo for the Quest 2, so it's gonna show the Meta logo, which is
Hmm.
like it's small, but it's kind of annoying, that like I mean the Oculus logo looks so much better than the Meta logo, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird putting your headset on instead of the glowing white. It's gonna be glowing blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also a lot of changes that a lot of games are gonna have. I haven't seen any game yet for the development that are owned by Facebook change theirs. It still says owned by Facebook. It doesn't say anything about changing
Mhm.
it to Meta. You think that for a company like that, if they want to be their brand recognition the skyrocket, you think that'd be like a very first thing, like, hey, whoever uses this Facebook logo has got to change it to the Meta logo.
Something tells me that Facebook doesn't really care. you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're too busy, finding certain ways to cancel people instead of actually, making something good. Uh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes because, like I said, I like Zuckerberg. I don't think should be in the actual owning an actual VR headset. I think he should just stick to the programming and just make something for VR instead of just one siloed uh, thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some news I was actually reading about Sony's headset, and like we already know they got pushed back again for a year. but I guess there's problems going on with like maybe not even making it AR, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
AR.
So
I
yeah,
don't think they'd even worry about making it AR. I don't know. I haven't heard of
so
the
it's
controversy.
it's supposed to be called. It's going to be Apple um, AR VR headset is what they're going to call it. So
Oh, that's okay. That's yeah. That's not Sony. That's Apple.
did I say Sony?
Yeah, you said Sony.
Okay.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah. That's because I'm looking at the Sony thing right now, and I was about to talk about
Mhm.
that. I remember there. If you heard anything about issues with AR, do you think there's ever a need for anything like game that we would play that would be AR?
I mean, there's been some stuff like some AR games I've played are like on the 3DS. There's like these cards that you can do and they'll like build worlds and stuff, and those are kind of cool. They're not that like great, but they're kind of cool. And then like probably the most popular example of an AR game would be Pokemon Go.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I'd ever see it ever being available. I mean they have like the I think that The Walking Dead made an AR game to where you like go out into the world, you collect stuff, and you actually see zombies out in the world if you turn the AR thing on with your phone. So that'd be kind of cool. Just walk. I mean, but who's gonna really walk around, with a headset on their head? I mean, maybe that's the future. Who knows? Maybe that is something that's gonna eventually happen because um,
okay.
I know that the what is it, the HT Vive ones that were pretty much used for AR, like they're not even a gaming system. It's more like for watching stuff. Um,
Oh, you're talking like the Focus, like those bug glasses.
yeah, they had to
I
make them
think
so
that is
ugly.
still
Why do you
VR.
why do you have to make them
I
so ugly?
liked them actually. I kind of like the like bug look. I don't know.
You liked it? I don't know. I
Yeah.
saw an image the other day looking at some news stuff about so there's in the news for those is that a lot of people were saying like, oh, I can't read or watch my phone in the car because it makes me nauseous because you're moving and you're trying to focus on
Mhm.
something. I guess they were talking about how the headset and the vehicle are like not making people get car sick.
Okay, that could be interesting. I feel like I'd still feel like the weight of the vehicle, like
Hmm.
how you're going and you like getting pulled back into your chair. I feel like you'd still feel that, but I don't know.
But
Maybe it is helpful.
I mean, that's the only thing I'd ever see ever wanting to buy one of those headsets is literally for car trips. Like, if it's a
Yeah.
long 8 hour thing instead of staring at my phone, just put on those things, not even care about what's happening. You can go in a full on crash and you won't even know what's happening until you actually feel the impact.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then so we got those headsets. But I want to move on to before we just kind of show the PlayStation new look is that we can kind of talk about the Valve Steam Deck that you found.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I believe like Steam Decks, I'm not sure if they're rolling out yet. They might actually, I think they roll out tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. That's kind of I think I saw that somewhere, but who knows. But
Hmm.
yeah, so the president of Valve, for people who don't know who Gabe Newell is, that's who he is. He said that the Steam Deck he, he like described it as a stepping stone to high performance standalone VR, but noted we're not really there yet. And
Hmm.
that's the quote from the Upload VR article that I sent you.
Yeah, and I see that now. But so, what are they trying to do with the VR? Because so, if people don't know, if you want to explain to people what exactly this thing's gonna even do, and kind of talk about the actual piece of technology that they're bringing.
hmm Yeah, so okay. So for those who don't know, the Steam Deck is like it's a portable game console, but it's also like a PC, so you can play all your Steam library. Well, actually, I think that not all. I should say that, but it lets you play a lot of your Steam library. So like if you want to play, I don't know, like Dark Souls 3 on the go, or Elden Ring, 'cause that just came out,
Yeah.
you could load that up on your Steam Deck and you can just play it, and it's kind of like, it's like a laptop, but it's not cumbersome. It's like the Nintendo Switch where it's
Hmm.
all in one unit and you can just, carry it around, and it's would be pretty cool, you know. Or you could play it in bed. That's probably how I'm gonna use it, you know, just sitting in bed with the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but so how powerful is this thing?
I believe it's decently powerful. Like from what I heard, it can run most games at like highish settings
Mm-hmm.
at 720p. So it's like
720p.
it's a smaller screen, so it's like, and yeah,
So it's
I think that's what
720p.
for.
But are the graphics and everything like that? So if you look, say, for instance, if you take like a game Fortnite, right? And then
Hmm.
Fortnite has console, they have PC, they have phone version, and then they have the Nintendo version. All graphically built different in a way. You know, they had to change their graphics for each platform you're on.
Right.
But they said that like the Nintendo's graphics is no better than almost playing it on your phone.
Yeah, and there would be some of that. Like, it's not gonna be like as good as like um doing it on like a high-end PC that has like ray tracing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really gonna get that on the Steam Deck, but you can play it, you know. That's the
Yeah,
important thing. And it doesn't look terrible is like what they were kind of aiming for.
yeah, and they did a pretty good job. Like I've seen like everything about it. But it's like a lot of people know what Steam is and stuff like that. Um, but if you're in the console world, usually you don't see all the other cool games that you could get on like console and stuff. So like technically, if I bought this, couldn't I play like World of Warcraft handheld?
I think you could. I'm not You'd have to like do some trickery to like get your buttons to work for that. You know, I think it doesn't have like a keyboard, so I'm not sure how the binds would work, but you could probably figure something out to get it to work. It wouldn't be like you just open it and it just works, but you can figure it out using a bunch of stuff, and I'm sure you could mangle up a way to do it.
Yeah, and does it have a dock station like the Nintendo, or is it just a handheld?
It's just a handheld. I think they might have something like that in the future, but that's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't take my word for it, you know. Don't
Yes.
get
So like, what is this gonna be anything different? Like, I feel like pretty much what they're doing right now is making like a freaking PS Vita for the freaking PC world.
Yeah, kind.
You know,
Yeah, pretty much.
the PS Vita, it did have its popularity, but it really didn't go too far. As we know, they no longer have those anymore. I mean, you could probably still buy them,
Yeah.
but they're not updating anything for them, and the games are pretty much obsolete. So, um, and they had
Yeah.
the PS Vita, and they had what another a PS now or like that. I know they made two different standalone kind of things back in the
They had the PSP Go,
yeah.
which was like always online type of thing. That
Hmm.
that didn't like do too well, but the Vita is probably their most recent thing, and then I think they had a Vita Slim, but I don't.
That was
Yeah,
like
it
10 years
wasn't
ago, though,
the
wasn't
most
it?
popular. Probably, honestly. Yeah,
I think it
let
was
me
like yeah,
check.
I think it was like 10 years ago. So what game since this is so Steam games are usually tailored for the PC world. And you mentioned something about binding, right? So
Yeah,
won't
like
they have to
keybinds.
find I mean, I don't think that you're going to have to keybind anything. I think that Steam's going to have to tell these developers you need to start making things that are more tailored for our standalone
Well, maybe, and it has like basically the same binds as an Xbox controller and a little more, so it's pretty flexible for something like that. But
yeah, I want to
um,
know. I want to
I'll,
look up how much they cost.
yeah, I know the base model is 400, and that's 64 gigabytes, and then they go up in price. The other prices were a little weird, but yeah. And
Yeah.
also, you were almost right to like you were 5 days off from it being 10 10 years old. The PS Vita came out February 22nd, 2012.
I felt like it was about that because my brothers got one when I graduated high school, and that was
Yeah.
10 years ago. I mean, this thing, it just looks so big. Let me see if I can't get anything about it and pull it up because it's interesting. So, what are they trying to do with the VR stuff? And like they say, there's going to be VR capabilities. Are you almost saying like you can?
Well, no, they're not. They're not saying that that's VR capabilities. It's a stepping stone. So like, it'll put you. It puts them closer to building the infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
to set up a headset for it, because they worked with AMD to make a custom processor for the Steam Deck, and they can use what they learned from that to push them forward. Like there's been rumors of the Deckard, which is
Mm-hmm.
the standalone Steam VR headset. That would obviously be a lot more expensive than the Steam Deck, but
Yeah, but I mean, right? I'm just saying, like, could you not connect your like say Quest to this and put and pull off games?
to the Steam Deck,
Yeah, yeah.
I believe you could. They mentioned that it's like possible, but going for the fact that it's like kind of shooting for 720p,
Mm-hmm.
you're, uh, most games would probably run like crap on it.
Yeah.
In
So they do
VR.
have a dock station, but it looks like it has an
It
HDMI
does.
port. Yeah.
Okay. That's noted.
Yeah, but I mean, so the most expensive one is $649. And
Yeah.
so you can get the one that's 64 gigs for 400. That's the cheapest, and that just comes with a carrying case. 529 comes with faster storage, carrying case, exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, and then the 649, which is 512 gigabytes. Which honestly, if you're gonna get this, I would not get the 64 gig. That's just me knowing how games are. That's one game. That's literally one game.
That's what
Um,
I got. That's what I bought.
you bought that one? So
Yeah.
let me ask you
Cause
that. But so what are you gonna do? They make SD cards? Like, can you put an SD card
yeah,
in there?
yeah, you
Okay,
can you
yeah,
can plug in a micro SD card
okay.
into
Then never mind. I take that
yeah,
back. Then the 64 gigs not gonna
yeah,
be that bad. But that pretty much
yeah.
just put all the games on the SD card. I do like SD cards. That's how Switch works. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, basically that 64 gigs is gonna be basically its own downloads. It's gonna be
Right,
yeah.
yeah, it is pretty crap for
I
like
mean,
that, but
at least give
being
someone
able
for that for $400, man. You should at least get like 150 gigabytes. I would say to be
well,
fair.
it's gonna be like a beast for its price, like they had to cut corners somewhere to get it that cheap, because they're trying to get like a good gaming PC
Hmm.
basically that you can take on the go.
I mean, it looks nice. I really like it. I mean, I'd buy it. I would.
Hmm.
It looks awesome. I mean, because I don't ever play my PlayStation more, and if I'm ever playing anything, then yeah, it'd be on the go. But
Hmm.
because all I do is play VR, so yeah, it's a very interesting thing. And yeah, so it's coming out in quarter two. Doesn't look like there's a release date on it.
Yeah, so actually for the Steam Deck, I believe that tomorrow, um, what was I gonna say? Tomorrow, I believe, is when they're sending out like the first batch of Steam Decks.
Hmm.
But yeah, it'll be a interesting way to see how that goes. If it's anything like the Valve Index, that you're gonna have to basically fight to get one if you don't.
And you already pre-ordered yours?
Yeah, I pre-ordered mine back in June, I think.
Oh, for like a year ago.
Yeah, more or less.
Almost there. I mean, time flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you have to let me know how that goes because I heard good things about it. I just hope it's not like it's anything like the Nintendo Switch because I love Nintendo products. It's just they're notorious at not like when's the last time they actually made a new title? besides remaking and selling the same stuff for $60. And the weird thing about Nintendo is that it'll be in the library. Like say, so for instance, Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's been $60 for the lifetime of
Yeah,
its of because they know that people will still buy it for $60, and it's a crazy
right.
model, and you know whatever that you know they're making
It
money off of it.
works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah, but
So
actually, I do remember. I was trying to think like what was the last Nintendo game to come out, and that actually it came out pretty recently. Is the Pokemon Legends Arceus that came out?
is it Acreus or is it Arceus?
Arceus.
I haven't heard anyone say it yet, and I thought it was Acreus. I've been telling everybody Acreus, so I've been saying it wrong. Arceus, Arceus.
Arceus, yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that would be a fun game to make VR. I'd definitely be down to play that game VR.
I'm not sure how that game even works. Like I haven't really paid much attention to it. I know it wasn't like the same as like a normal Pokemon game, but I'm not sure what they did different.
So basically, they made it kind of like an open world stylish. You go and you load into regions, right? Instead of like just falling into it, you actually load into it, and each region has like collect this much. It's almost like Monster Hunter World. It put that into context there.
Okay.
So take like Monster Hunter World and then take Pokemon and pretty much merge those together. And the thing is that you don't go into these like traditional Pokemon battle styles. You actually have to go near the Pokemon that you want to catch. You have to study it. You have to see so many of them. You have to figure
Mhm.
out like what type it is, all this fun stuff, and then you can finally catch it. And then, but if you like,
Yeah.
if you piss one of them off, they'll come and try. They'll come attack you as the human, like yeah. And so
Yeah.
you get kind of screwed. And not only that, but they also show different sizes of them. So if they're like a big one, they're freaking huge. And then not only that,
Yeah.
like it actually shows like the shiny ones too. And so I
Oh.
always yeah. So that's pretty interesting to see the shinies. Like I was on TikTok and this one guy found like a shiny like extra large one. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, so people go crazy with shiny hunting, but I think in that game you have to like catch or see like 1,000 of them or something like that, like something ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Of the same Pokemon, you just keep catching it, and then the percentage of you seeing a shiny goes up.
Oh, okay.
So I've heard good things, and so when I sold my Nintendo, because the only reason why I got the freaking Pokemon game, the only reason why I got the Nintendo was to play that Pokemon game, and then I think that's the same week that Zenith came out, and so I'm just like, well, not playing Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you said it's like Monster Hunter. Do you actually you don't fight them with like swords and stuff though?
No, you can just throw rocks at them.
You throw you just throw rocks. Get away.
Yeah, it's pretty much run away and then try and either get to a safe spot. I know you can throw rocks at them. You can throw a Pokeball at them, and then you can obviously break out your Pokemon and try and get them to fight each other.
Yeah, for sure.
But so moving on back into the VR world stuff, we finally got a look of what the PSVR 2 looks like, a full kind of in-depth, you know, image of it. I think before we just got like maybe what the controller looks like.
Yeah, yeah. That was what it was. What the controller looked like is what pretty much all we saw.
So I just don't know, man. Like I like the controller style and everything, but the headset, there's something about the headset. I just don't know if that's gonna be comfortable. I mean, obviously it has to be, um, but it's a nice looking thing. I do like the white. I do like it how it's white and it looks pretty clean. Um,
Yeah.
but man, it just kind of looks goofy. Just the headset. Like I'm saying, I like the controllers.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not that bad, but the actual PlayStation 5 looks pretty goofy itself, so,
Very very true. But yeah, the only thing is that like I definitely would want this because there's definitely PlayStation exclusive VR games, but you
Mhm.
know I just don't know if I could play a game being plugged in. I wish that they found a way to make a PlayStation standalone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. That would be pretty expensive though. I think the PSVR 2, while standalone's cool. Actually, okay, never mind. I was about to say, wait, these pictures don't even have a cable, but they do have a cable.
the ones I'm showing have cable down the right side.
Right. Yeah. No. There was one picture that didn't show it, and that was the one I was looking at. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. I'd take the extra power. Like they tease the Horizon game, like like Horizon Zero Dawn and now
Uh-huh.
Forbidden West that they released. They showed like the big long necks, I think are what they're called. They're those
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
But
long
like,
necks, yeah.
yeah, they have the disc as the head. They showed one just walking by and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I like Breath of the Wild. Yeah, and you get to climb those. They're like pretty much like cell towers is what they
hmm
were. I heard good things about the second one.
yeah. I've heard that it's like a very good looking game. Is
Hmm.
mainly like the thing that people have been praising about it. They're like, gameplay's fun, but the view, you gotta check it out, bro.
So,
Gotta see the view.
do do we know at all what the potential price might be?
For like a Horizon VR game or the PSVR?
PSVR two.
Um,
How
I don't
much?
know.
How
I
much
don't
was
think we
PS?
did.
How much was PSVR? It was like what, $300?
400, 300, one of those two.
Yeah, yeah. And I about
Yeah.
got it. I could never see myself playing with those freaking blue and red freaking ball controllers for
Yeah,
VR.
those like PS Move controllers, I think are
Yeah.
what they're called. They're yucky
So having that new controller design is gonna definitely up the game for PS VR game.
for sure.
Like I don't even know how people. I don't even know how people were playing. What's the zombie game that we've been playing?
Oh, After the Fall.
Yeah, After the Fall. Yeah, like there's PSVR people in After the Fall, and I was confused on how they were playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, were they in VR playing with a controller?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that how they were doing it?
Yeah, they were using the PS Move controllers. There's also like a thing that you can like put together and it's like a gun stock that you can use sort of
Gotcha,
deal. So maybe some people use that, but I don't know.
gotcha.
It would be easier to reload with that. You go whoop. You
Mhm.
just smack yourself in the chest.
Yeah, yeah. That game's coming up with a new update, new maps, new stuff like that. So hopefully more people go back to that game because I know I went to go. I was bored one night and I got onto it and it was a freaking.
Yeah.
It was a ghost town. Like I saw maybe two or three people in there. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not gonna play like team deathmatch or anything because I couldn't load anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do just a typical load in and play, just the swarm stuff. And nope, couldn't
Right.
find a single person to play. I'm just like, wow, that kind of stinks. Like,
And the bots are awful in that game too. They won't keep you alive, your bot teammates.
yeah, I know. I mean, I did watch Samachi play like the hardest level on like the very first mission, and I don't think any of his bots made it alive like past the first round.
Yeah. Yeah, no. The bots in that game are kind of terrible. You have to play it with people.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Like, I mean, I've tried it and with like two. If you have a really good second person, that it's all right. But yeah, I mean, the only thing good about the bots is that they'll sometimes bring you back to life.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I did like that. I think one time we were in a crappy situation and the bot healed me in the perfect, like at the most perfect time. So yeah, I know that I definitely would definitely want to try out the PSVR, but I don't know. I don't think I could ever play. I'd have to figure out some pulley system if I would try it because I can't stand cords around my feet. I would definitely rip that out of the PlayStation.
Yeah, and actually, that's kind of convenient because Complete had messaged in the chat. He said, "Issue with the issue with having like wireless is it depends on your Wi-Fi sometimes, you know.
Hmm.
So like if you wanted to do like PSVR wireless, that would probably depend on Wi-Fi, which I'm surprised like everything's reliant on Wi-Fi, you know. That's one thing. It's like why isn't there just like I don't know, maybe I'm completely ignorant or whatever, but like why can't it be like Bluetooth or like better Bluetooth, you know? Why's it got to run over the internet? You know, wouldn't it be easier to connect from point A to point B instead of like point A to some satellite somewhere in the sky to point B, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I mean, it all really depends, like, on what your service is, how much money you're paying, what's your up and down. Um, I think I have like 300 up and 30 down, and that's more than a.
Well, it would probably be the other way if that was the case. Because, like, usually is smaller than downloads.
My downloads
But
300, uploads 30. Did I?
yeah,
That's I
that
said it.
sounds right.
Did I say it backwards the first time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you flipped it.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, usually, I mean, they're all pretty much looked at the same. We really look at it, but I mean, the best thing to ever do is be hardwired in. But as we all know, that playing on a headset, I don't even think PCVR, even if you have your computer hardwired in, doesn't factor in on what's pulling into the headset. I mean, even though it's just you're pretty much mirroring the same thing. At that point, I think that how good your headset is and the refresh rate for your headset, and then that's all only thing for it. But the
Hmm.
best thing is always going to be hardwired in. But like standalone,
Right.
at that point, you just might as well either buy a router, a better router with faster speed that's more connective to your house instead of just trusting a modem. Um,
Hmm.
but I know that I've had troubles, especially like sharing my screen to my computer. And the only way that I fixed having some of the issues was I hardwired into my laptop, and then had my headset. You always want to put your headset on the 5 gigahertz instead of the 2 point. Was it 2.4?
Yeah,
Um,
2.4.
yeah, you want to be on 5, and then as long as you're on 5, I mean, I don't think I've ever really had any issues loading into anything, for the most part.
And one thing Complete brought up is that Bluetooth can't really send out much data quickly, which is, yeah, that's probably why it doesn't do it, you know, that's a good point.
Yeah,
And he also said that, like, it's not going to the internet, just to your network. So, okay, that's one thing I didn't know, you know?
yeah,
So, thank you for correcting me.
yeah. And I think Bluetooth, it's all about wavelengths. I think it has like huge
Mm,
wavelengths instead of like once you start looking at like actual internet cell service, almost like talking about like 5G. The reason why a lot of people are scared of 5G is because the actual wavelengths are really really small, and it
mm-hmm.
has a weird frequency to it, and I don't know necessarily if I would even want anything 5G attached to my head. I think I would definitely get brain cancer.
Who knows? I mean, I
You're
don't know.
pretty much putting a microwave on your head at that point.
Not necessarily, you know. There's some of that stuff that gets overhyped, I think, but
Yeah, I mean it does. I definitely understand that. I think that everyone's gonna meet an agenda when it comes to that stuff. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so interesting to see more that's coming out with that. I really want to know when a release date's gonna be for it. I know within probably not this year. I could probably see if anything, Christmas time going into 2023 would be realistic. Uh, but we'll see how that turns out. Right now, no one
Yeah.
can even get their hands on a PlayStation 5 hardly. So, um, but anyways, so let's move on to the last little bit of news before we get into some of the esports stuff.
One
Um,
thing I will say is that, Complete said I'm too young to remember sending songs to your friends via Bluetooth, but I'll say that I used to run dial-up, okay? I used to have, like, the worst of the worst internet. That's before Bluetooth.
yeah,
But
I grew
that's,
up. I mean, that's what I don't think I had a computer in my house until, oh man, it would have been 1996 1995 when I think we got our first computer, and it was all dial up. And
Mhm.
I remember that when my mom would want uh, to like have a phone call coming in because no one had
You
cell
get,
phones. You
you're
weren't
gone,
allowed.
buddy.
You can't be on the internet because if you're on the internet, then no phone calls come in. So that was a very
Yeah.
interesting time. And yeah, you guys want to talk about sending stuff Bluetooth? How about making a freaking putting songs on a cassette player? Talk about being old, complete.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think I've ever sent a song via Bluetooth. That like I don't know. That's like hasn't happened.
I
I
used
didn't
to.
even know that was a thing.
I didn't know you could do that Bluetooth. I mean,
Yeah.
like you can hot drop things to people now. I think that's funny. You can like I have buddies that go to like malls and stuff, and they just take the most
Just
obscene picture, and then they just start airdropping it.
yeah.
Why you do,
Yeah.
like why you do? I mean, that's their fault for exposing their phone to the outside world.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, talking about the new age, right? You want to talk about being in school and like what we had a view and like even sending stuff to your friends. Now, just imagine what this article is that you found that these
Mhm.
kids that are in this, it's called, I think they're doing it in Chapel Hill High School, is what it's called. And let me put
Mhm.
this on here. They are playing VR to learn how to be firefighters, which
Mhm.
is very interesting. You can see the let me see if I can zoom into this kid. You can see that they have what headset is that?
That looks like a Vive,
Yeah,
maybe like a Vive Cosmos 2?
yeah.
Let me double check that.
So
But
yeah, while you check in that, I'll kind of explain what this kid is doing. So as you can see, he is hardwired in with the headset. He has the fire extinguisher, and it looks like he has the extinguisher on his back, and he's going through. You can see on the TV, it looks like it's showing him how to put out a fire via VR, which is very interesting for sure. Like, how cool would that be to be? I know I would have liked to have done that in high school.
yeah, that would be cool. Like, for a bit, I don't know if you knew this about me, but I was thinking of becoming a firefighter,
Yeah,
and like, being able to like they say they put them in like the situations that you'd have to be in as a firefighter, but they're not in danger, so they can be more prepared when they gotta show up, and do the job. They're like less likely to get hurt and do it well, because they already have that experience beforehand, and that's like applies to lots of things, not just firefighting. VR's like a tool for that that's really helpful.
yeah. I've seen VR for doctors, like showing them like in depth, like when what organs are up. Like they'll click something and it'll come up in VR. Like you can rotate it and play with it. It's like imagine like when Iron Man was building his suit in the very first movie, where he's like taking things and like throwing them away, and it was like that. But obviously we don't have technology like Tony Stark, so we have to have a headset on. But
Mm.
it was pretty much like that. And then the company that I work for, they're doing stuff with VR, and they're doing stuff for safety, and they're also teaching people like welding things, like they'll weld in VR.
Yeah, and there's like I know it's been used especially in like automotive stuff. Like car people love VR,
Yeah,
they, they like there's lots of simulations and stuff. Like, well, actually, that's kind of a random side note. Is there's like a lot of racing setups with VR. Like they'll have like chairs that like vibrate and go, ooh, you know, while they're driving, and like they have all this cool stuff. And a lot of
yeah.
racing games have VR perspective, which is kind of interesting.
Well, during COVID, they actually got a whole bunch of NASCAR people, and they raced a
Hmm.
virtual race. Like professional racers got into these machines, and they did a whole race. Like that, I think they only did it like maybe once or twice, but um, just seeing that was just like, man, like why can't someone take that idea and now expand it to be like, hey, I don't want to buy this fancy car. I just want to like get this machine and start racing. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, that's the thing, and like you don't have to deal with the danger, just like these kids who are in high school.
right?
They're not. you're not sending a bunch of kids to get set on fire and die. You know, they
Right.
could they get to practice.
But like, so with them just doing this now with the fire, like teaching fire like skills and stuff like that, like how long away are we from just being teaching kids virtually?
Teaching kids. I mean, I
Coming
don't
into a
know.
virtual, like, you wake up, you put a headset on, and you go into a virtual classroom where the teacher comes in, gives you homework that way, teaches you stuff, and then you just take the headset off at the end of the day.
I feel like it's possible, but also not too likely. I think there are some like bad effects that can happen for like young kids who use VR. Like it can really mess up how their brain works. Like, cause like it like it does some weird stuff to the wiring from what I remembered hearing, and like you gotta be like, you don't want to make kids who can't like walk straight or like something weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like I think is like 7 years old and younger are especially are like shouldn't be in VR because it'll like mess them up. I
Yeah.
think if there was like VR school, it would be like, private schools. It's an option. You can choose to go there, but I don't think it would be the default.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think like a full on, like what I said, like doing that. I would like to see
Hmm.
just like maybe you have like a class where it's teaching VR, or like
Oh,
even
I'm sure there's something like that.
like
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing that. But I also want to know because I think it takes 50 years to actually conduct studying on like what does affects to people's brains and the development. And
Hmm.
so VR has not been out for 50 years. It's been an idea for only I think the very
Well,
first
that's not
headset
true. It's been an
was.
idea forever,
I
like
know that,
even
but
since the 1800s.
I think that the very first headset that they actually tried out was in the 70s, correct?
Um, Probably like if it's actually rendering graphics,
It was written.
probably later than that.
Yeah, I have to find
'Cause-
it. The article I
yeah.
found because it was a huge headset, and I mean they were like it was like Atari graphics, but they still walked around, and this guy on the news thing was like getting like sick and everything. So talking about getting sick and stuff like that. So if you ever watched a show on Netflix called Space Force, have you ever
Space
heard of
Force.
that? It's got the guy from The Office in it.
Which one?
the
What
the
guy
the
from
main guy, like the boss. Why can I not remember his
Steve
name? Yeah,
Carell?
Steve Carell. So he is this general, a 5-star general, and they were kind of making fun of the joke because as people know, America now has a branch of the
Space.
military called Space
Yeah.
Force. So
Yeah.
they made a show based off of that and kind of making fun of it and
Yeah.
the advances of us trying to get to the moon. And well, there is one point, and this is in season 2, and I think third or fourth episode in, and they were trying to do this new idea, and they put on headsets, and the younger guy was like, "Oh, this is so awesome! I'm really enjoying this." And then all of a sudden, the older guy puts it on. He's like, "No, no," and it's like starts freaking out and starts falling to the ground, starts puking. He goes, "I can't see where I'm puking, I can't see it," and he was like losing his freaking mind. And it was kind of comical because just the way that the younger guy was like, "Yeah, this is awesome, having a great time."
Mm.
But as we know, that I think there's probably more elderly people that have VR heads than people think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of older people who are like who haven't even played any video games but got VR because they were bored.
Dude, I could definitely
And
see myself being like 80 and buying a fishing game and just fishing all day.
I know when like real VR came out, that was like really popular for some like specific people. Like I know Bobby Two Taps. Shout out to Bobby. But I know him and like some of his friends were playing a lot of that.
Yeah. Talking about games and like survival stuff, I don't think it's gonna be VR, but it kind of cracked me up because the game Sims.
The Sims, yeah.
They're making a survival Sims.
So, wait, what?
Yeah, I'll have to try and find it and send it to the article later. But yeah, it's survival Sims, to where you're a sim character and you're like pretty much like almost like in a remote area where you're like lost
Hmm.
and you gotta survive. Things trying to kill you. I don't know. I don't know really the specs of it. I just saw a glimpse of it, and I'll have to refine the article because it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there anything else newsworthy?
Well, one random thing I'll say is that you were actually kind of right about the VR headset. It says 1968. It's the
1968.
first. That's the first thing off of Google, so you know, if it's wrong, guys, Google
Yeah,
lied to me. But yeah, 1968.
but I don't think we're gonna see data on brain cognitivity, and stuff like that on children for not until like maybe like 2040, 2050.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'd be interested to see that data and how much it's decreasing my eyesight. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, so anything else newsworthy? I know we've been playing a pretty fun game. We can't talk about it yet, so I'm just gonna
Oh,
eventually. I
okay,
think we
that's
can.
under NDA,
It's
more or
not
less.
it's not under an NDA.
But we shouldn't talk about it.
I don't know how much we can talk about it. I really didn't uh, ask about it, so I'm not gonna really talk about it. But I think
Yeah.
by next month we should be able to talk about it because I might be able to record that tournament. So more to come out on a really fun game. I think a lot of people are gonna
Mhm.
enjoy it. Other than that, like I don't think there's any game coming out that's really noteworthy. I know they have a cooking game coming out, and then that's about it. I mean, nothing spectacular or any big updates. I know the biggest update for like a game right now would be Population One got rid of one of their areas since the very beginning of the game. And now they have up the Population One city that's getting. I think it is already out. I think
Wait, what did they get rid of?
refinery.
Oh, refining. Okay. Yeah, because I saw the screenshot of the like I think it was on their Twitter or something. I
Hmm.
don't know. Let me know if that rings any bells. But yeah, they had like here. Let me double check.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna.
while you do that, I'm gonna pull up the esports section of stuff. So if Complete's still in here, when is the
No, he
next?
headed
He
out.
headed out. Okay.
Yeah, I said bye to him in the chat. He said he'll come back later, but
So,
yeah.
anyways, I'll just pull up their Discord. Their Discord's pretty uh okay to be sharing and stuff. So not much going on with the esports scene. I know that pretty much the only things going live right now is VRML. Echo League still is going on. They just had their tournament start, and I believe there's matches tonight. Matches like I don't know. I think they have two back-to-back days of matches, and then I think they view where everyone's standing, and then they set more matches up. I wonder if that's even on there. Like they didn't have any rosters. I don't even know why they didn't even have like an actual bracket. I don't know why that's
Yeah.
not a thing. I couldn't find anything on a bracket on that tournament. Um,
Hmm.
but then you have some tournaments coming up for Arc League before their next season starts. I know tonight. I don't know what time it is starting because I swear to God I can't find times to save my life right now. Um, but we drafted a team last Monday, I believe we drafted Monday or Wednesday. I don't remember what day it was, but we drafted people, and we drafted three people out of some of the top players in the game to some of the people that are not as skilled as them. And so we went down there. And we just started picking names. We do the way that it was working is that you start from the top, and once it gets to the bottom gets to pick two people, and it goes back up. And then once everyone's gone through it and they wait a week and they do a tournament, and so I guess that's tonight. So if
Okay.
you
Is
so
that just like a temporary thing for that tournament, or is it like a draft for like whatever next season or however it works.
It's just an event they do. This is the second time they've done
Okay.
it. So basically, what happens is we all get on stream. We're all on a Discord chat, and I think his name's I believe Dave, who streams it. And I think Vape also streams it as well. But I think the one
Okay.
that Arc pushes more to is to have Dave pretty much doing the casting. I think Vape just does it because he does that, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
but so as of right now, let me go ahead and push through this Discord here. So as of right now, coming up, I know that there is the WWW Mayhem tournament, which is March 6th at 2 p.m. East. You can go to the WWW tournament chat. You just need to go to the ARC Discord. I have all their links in our description, and you can sign up for this tournament. Looks like they have different things changed. The zone hold length is 25% and zone damage is 130%. So I believe that's max damage on that. And then I don't know what they didn't specify what tournament this one, but this one changed the congrats to all players that made it to the finals to the top 3 placement. And then if I can zoom, I don't think I can zoom in. But that is basically who the winners are for that. And like I said, their league should be starting within the next week or two. So we'll get to see more advancements, and we'll get to be able to go back to the charts that they have. And like I said, I think Complete said that they are developing a website, and things will be a lot more easier for me to kind of broadcast it, show off through a website. And it's almost like, so we have Real here, and who is a new league as well. They, I think they have a pretty good web developer. I think I met him. He's a pretty smart guy. They're working on big things. So the one thing that I wish they would do, if they ever listen to this, is that when I go to a game and look at the matches, I can't see the past week matches to really explain to you where the standings are. There's no standings page. And for me to talk about leagues and stuff, that's kind of the whole purpose of me talking about leagues, is talk about what just happened. So as you can see right here, there were matches that were played this week. It looks like there's still matches that are going to need to be played. It looks like one needs to be played. Looks like Havoc, I can never spell their name. I say their name. But
Amalgamated.
Is that how you say it?
Amalgamated, yes.
Man, big words. But anyways, it looks like they lost against Sector International 0-4. And so that's their first loss, that being with Havoc. They won last week. Other than that, you can come to their website, check it out. I wish there was a standings page to show me who's in first, the matches that past played, maybe even show me like your past casters, like the past casting matches, like to be saved and put on YouTube instead of on Twitch, since Twitch deletes them. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then their Gun Raiders is also into the second week as well. So you can pretty much go to their Discord and find all of their information for this, and you can. I don't even know what I was gonna say, but so basically, if you go to the website, it has where they go to their Discord. You can sign up a team. You can, join through teams in here, and there's more to come. I think that I don't know how much I can actually talk about what's coming up, and I don't know why it won't let me go to the league on Gun Raiders right now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I was gonna show the matches and stuff, for some reason it's not going. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I know that there is some other leagues going on that they just don't have any information for me to present. So here are all the matches that are coming up for Gun Raiders. Like I said, this is round 2. I have no clue what happened in round 1 until they start putting information. So like I said, they have Echo going on. And I know that there's other leagues doing, like Pavlov. And then there is Vertical Shift just had their tournament.
Oh yeah, the Vaporwaves tournament.
Yep, they had the Vaporwaves tournament. Did they conclude that? Did they find out who the winner of that was?
I'm not sure. I think we lost though.
I know we
I think
lost,
that's what. Yeah.
and I just thought about that tournament now, but I know that Vertical Shift, the person who runs it does a pretty good job having uh, a, a why can't what is it called where you the standings.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Posting standings. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know where. Yeah, I don't think they completed out who won yet. It doesn't say anything on their announcement. It just says uh, that it was starting. So
Yeah. I haven't really kept up with that one too much, but yeah,
yeah,
we'll see.
and then you have one other league that is in process is also the Hyper Dash League, which is Dash League. They're also another bunch of leagues that do not have any information or standings. So, like I said, if you're listening to this and you're part of those leagues, it'd be nice to get some information so I can show people and give respect where respect is due for some of these really talented players out there.
Hmm.
But other than that, that was pretty much all for the league stuff. I wish there was more. I think this is kind of a dead zone right now. I think the biggest thing going on right now for VR, which is coming up, which is next month on the 11th and the 12th, which is going to be that charity event that NEPA is going to be holding, which is going to be called the Lane event. It is an event where they're going to have all the pros come out there. They're going to play a tournament there, and then also they're going to do uh, just a random people come join a tournament, and whoever wins that smaller tournament from the public get to a chance to go up against the pros and see how they do as well. So we're doing a kind of like a partnership thing with the Disorient, where some of Havoc's players and then some of Disorient players are going to be playing with each other to try and play against the pros. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the guys on Disorient, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I think that should be pretty interesting, seeing how they get along. But I think
Yes.
that should be good.
So if you want information on that, you can go to nepa.com. I don't know if it's
Is it
.com or
.tv?
No, so it's not NEPA TV. I'll have to put the link in the description of
I'll look
exactly
it up.
where it is. It's not NEPA TV. That was taken
Is
already, I
it
believe.
NEPA VR Pro?
Yeah,
.com?
NEPAVRPro.com is where you'd go, and then you
Yeah.
can get that information on it. The tickets are free. There are paid VIP tickets and stuff. But if you just want to, show up where it's at Busch Stadium. It's the charity is for the Special Olympics. That's what it's going for. And should be a fun time. I'll be there. I'll be there not the 11th, but I'll be there on the 12th. So
Yeah.
so other than that, got anything else before we end this?
I don't think so. Like you kind of been saying, this week's been a little less exciting,
Hmm.
in general well, at least for VR, There is Elden Ring that's out.
Yeah, and that is a pretty big game that just came out. I've heard good things about it. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna play it though. I'm not a big fan of their type of playstyle game. Uh,
Yeah. Too hard for you?
too hard for me. Jeez. I know. I just feel like I would want to play the other ones before I played this one.
Well, I've heard that Elden Ring is actually the most like kind of accessible one so far, so
Really.
you can try out different things. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, my buddy was raving about it. He loves like those developers. Every game that they've ever put out, he played,
Hmm.
and he enjoys them. Which is just, is it Dark Souls and then what else?
Yeah. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and
Yeah.
Sekiro.
Okay. So yeah, I think he's played all those. He was just telling me that he just got done beating Dark Souls again for the second time, and
That's what I did too. I actually just beat Dark Souls 1 again.
yeah. So, holy cow, my wife just tripped. But so other than that, yeah, everyone have a good week. I do know that I don't know how much if I ever get any word of new games coming out, I would really like to do a fun side by side. Me and you both play the game and just like put some
Yeah,
game stuff up and talk about a certain game as well that's coming out. So I'd really like to do that, especially for the game that we want to talk about. I know that I told him that
yeah, that'll be.
I would. that's definitely one that people need to see. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to really talk about it. I think that once we finally can talk about it, I think we'll probably do like a whole episode on it. So
Yeah. Yeah,
probably
that
not
would
that
be
extreme, but yeah, we'll definitely be talking about it.
it would be cool if we could do the tournament. We'll see if we can actually stream it though.
I'm asking them. They just need to get the go ahead from the big guy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
So other than that, everyone be safe out there. If you are, hopefully we can, the world stays intact by the time we get to next Sunday. A lot of
Yep.
crazy things happening. So everyone be safe out there. You want to say anything? You want to say bye, Mr. Naked VR Man?
Yeah. Take care, guys. Keep playing VR, and we'll see you next week.
Keep playing VR. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Peace.